Record to the computer. All right, guys, welcome to TGIM. Thank goodness it's Monday. The mindset is that a new week is a fresh start, a fresh opportunity to hit our goals rather than the furthest away you can be from the weekend. Totally different life, really. And tonight we're going to be talking about destroying excuses, because I guess my brother used to tell me excuses are like buttholes. Everyone's got them. They all stink, right? They're just really what we tell ourselves. What the little guy on the left shoulder, the devil or whatever, tells us after why we can't do it, and we listen too much to that. We need to believe our beliefs a little bit more. And what I want you to do, just to open up with this TGIM, because we're going to kind of break this down mentally to a degree, and hopefully help you guys realize what's going on, so you can, at least when you are making them, because we all will at some point, identify it and then say, no, wait, this is why I'm actually want to do this, and relate it back to your goals. So what we're going to do first up is write down 3 goals you currently have in any area of your life. And number them. So 1, 2, 3. Please. And I will give you exactly, hopefully this is pretty front of mind for a lot of us guys, because if we don't have goals, we're just going to go through day-to-day life and end up at the end of the road at some point and think, well, probably should have done more with my life, so you don't want to have that regret. So if we're continually kicking off goals, it will lead to happiness, because progress is happiness. But if you don't have goals, you can't make progress towards anything. So I'll use the guys in the room here. We've got Katie Conroy, Natasha Bales, Julia, and the twin Carmody boys, Tyler and Zach. Here. So I'm just waiting for them to write theirs down. Katie was like, bang, 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 done. That's what she wants. So the more, with goals, guys, just while we're writing them down, the more crystal clear that we can make our goals in our own mind, the higher the chance that you're going to be able to achieve them. You've got to be visualizing them. You've got to be thinking about it every single day. When you're writing your imperative list, if you do that, an important list, imperative being the things you have to do to achieve your goals, important being the things that don't really matter but you need done, like washing your car and that type of stuff. Beautiful. I forget where I was going with that. What was I talking about? Goals. This is why we mute ourselves, because I would have a goldfish type of attention span, especially after a box fit. There you guys go. Cool. All right, so now what I want you to do as well, because you actually find it funny, the excuses you make when you write them down. And we all know our excuses, so this is a bit of an honesty test as well. And if you're not making excuses towards the goal, maybe it's not like big enough, because sometimes we set big goals and or maybe we're just not focused enough on it. So hopefully this is like a bit of a reality check as well. But I want you to write down the excuses you do. So just write down, let's say you wrote 1, 2, and 3, just one, and then just stop points on the excuses you use when you should be doing something towards it, but you don't. For example, if you're trying to get into the gym because you want to lose weight or eat healthy, what do you tell yourself when you don't? So let's say you've gone through the Macca's drive-through and you're in day 1 of the April shred, right? And nuggets, it doesn't matter. Nuggets is still not good for you, all right? What was the excuse that you told yourself that would be okay? Because there's things that are going to help you achieve your goals and things that aren't. And generally when we do the things that aren't going to help us move towards there, we have told ourselves some type of justification, which is an excuse, right? Everyone can relate. Don't lie. All that time we should have went to the gym and we just didn't go because whatever that thing was when you said because.
down one excuse.
Excuses for those three things, yeah.
We're going to give you a bit of time because there's 3, and I would have thought you'd nearly have 2 to 3 excuses for all of them. You got to keep mixing it up. So you know, they're like kind of like mental weeds excuses, aren't they? Cool. These guys are. I'm going to use Katie as like the front runner because I reckon she's going to be good at this, and I'm going to use Julia as the marker. Actually, no, I'm not. We might be here a while. I'll use the lads here as the marker. Yeah. And as we're writing these down, guys, don't some of them feel ridiculous?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, what? It's a super powerful thing, isn't it? When we're thinking of them, they don't feel really ridiculous. When we write them down, you're like, what am I doing? What's going on with that? And I'll just give you, so for health and fitness, it's always like, oh, it's a cheat meal or something, when it's not really. If you're doing it like every day or twice a day, it's not a cheat meal, it's just a lifestyle choice. Or maybe you're in the business, right? So in the Herbalife opportunity, and you don't go to the event, which you know will move you forward for whatever that excuse is. Most of the time it's time and money, but I think the people who go to the events, that's what they're after. So it's a, you know. Or what else do we know? It's another area. Doing daily personal development. A lot of us know we should. Although when I started the business opportunity with Herbalife, I'd never really heard of it. But if you have, or you're on this call, you have. So a lot of us know we should be doing it daily. But the reason why we don't is, and these are personal ones, really. And we're just going to give it another couple of minutes, guys. I'm watching the clock here. And then we're going to talk about it a little bit more.
You see that? The link doesn't work. Right.
Well, there's people on the call.
No. Is that one you wanted us to watch today?
No, yeah, that doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Oh.
You don't like it.
Copy and paste into a web address bar.
You can't
What do you
copy
think?
the whole message.
You realise we're recording here, mate? Potty mouth. Surely there's some nice
It's
people
your
on the
goal
call.
to not swear.
Yeah. Clean up the language. You've got to be yourself, don't you, Natasha? All right, guys. So, doesn't it look ridiculous when you actually write the excuse down, right? So we're going to do some work around that because we've got comments on the language now. We're going to have to, when I put this on YouTube, they're going to probably take it off. Strong language. What do they say at the start of the movie? M15. Strong language. Cool. So guys, when I think this TGIM is on eliminating excuses, right? So we've just identified some that we're making to ourselves, and I guess when we look at it, isn't it laughable when you actually write it down? So I think a real key to excuses is identifying the excuse for the goal and then remembering the reason why that goal is important to you. because then you should just take the action that actually moves you towards it, if it is worthwhile to you. If it's not, then you probably won't. So you need to readjust the goal and get really defined, crystal clear, predetermined, time-based goals. Okay, so you've let's say from tomorrow morning you wake up, you know you should have your breakfast shake because you're in the April shred and you want to get shredded, but then you're like, oh, a piece of toast sounds all right because it's cold. And then you go, oh, no, I'm making an excuse. That piece of toast won't actually move me towards my goal, but my shake will. So then you actually take the shake. So sometimes when you actually identify that you're making excuses and then remember why you are, so the reason why is I want to lose weight. That's why I don't want to eat the toast. Okay, I'm going to have the shake. So it's kind of like you're nearly scrubbing the excuse out before you let it affect your actions. And what I know is as well, guys, that there's two types of worlds that we live in. One's the outer world. I'm doing a bit of Mind Power course by John Kehoe. Some of you guys, I've told some of you guys. And Julie's on YouTube. Or is that me? Oh, you're watching the call while you're in the room. Well, it must be good viewing. So what I know is, so I'm doing a Mind Power course. It's called John Kehoe, and there's two different worlds that exist in our lives. One's our outer world, so things we can't control. So it might be the weather, politics, other people's actions, some other things we can't control. Someone bringing around a pizza to your house when you're on the April shred, and these type of things, right? I'm just trying to relate it because I know a lot of these guys are on from the challenge. And so you can't control that stuff, but what you can control is what you think about. And what will happen is if you can control what you're thinking about will actually affect the outside world. So if you're thinking from a point of view that you're totally reactive to what happens on the outside, so other people's stuff, and it affects your mindset, then it comes your reality. But if you're really strong mentally and you can remember your why, and you can eliminate the negativity and the excuses, what will happen is the things that you're thinking about will actually, it goes the other way. Instead of being totally reactive, you're actually creating your reality. So with your excuses, when you can identify them, and you can say, that's ridiculous, this is why I'm doing this, and hit it with a bit of an emotional mental burst. You don't have to say that loud, you're going to sound crazy, but, mentally go, no, that's not, I'm here to change. And if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to get exactly the same thing. If I do this, I know I'll get this outcome. And that's what personal growth is, guys. It's essentially changing for the better, isn't it? Like we talk about, personal growth can go both ways. You can grow worse. And sometimes if we keep on the track that we're on, you will, we're going downhill right now. And maybe the reason why you decided to do the April challenge or even jump on this call was you feel like, and you're identified you're going down and you don't really know what to do about it. So now you've got, no, I need to make a change. And of course I'm talking physically. You feel like you're putting on weight, you're getting worse, whatever, and you've got, no, I need to make a change. So that change is happening right now because you're on that call. And what I know is about change as well, guys, is all change is messy. Like it's not a clean cut thing. Otherwise, you'd just be doing it anyway. Like it's hard. It makes you do things you might normally do, like jump on a TGIM on a Monday night instead of watching something on TV. I don't know. Maths? What's that? Married at First Sight. Jesus, you'd prefer to be on these calls, wouldn't you? So guys, just keep that in mind. That I think identification is the first key, because then with that excuse, you can either allow it to create your reality, or you can allow yourself to create a different reality based on your thoughts. Your thoughts are powerful. So, and secondly, with that being said, we need a strong why, guys. Like the stronger your why, the less excuses will be attached to your thought processes, because you'll be thinking about it all the time. It'll be really front of mind. You'll be in your own mind. You'll be able to see it. You'll be able to visualize exactly what the outcome looks like. So for you, if it's weight loss, you've just got this dream body going on in your head and you're just thinking, no, that's why I can't actually eat that food because I want this. I really want this. Not just a little one. Like I'm talking a strong why, not a, yeah, I want it, but not if I can't go out with the girls every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday night, and not if I can't go out for dinner and eat palmy for lunch and, all this stuff. Like you can't, that's a, yeah, you want to be eater, essentially. And it's eventually you get to a point where you're like, no, I actually do want this, and that's when things will change because there'll be a strong why. So make sure we're having a strong why. It's going to be like a flame that keeps burning and keeps melting those excuses away. I guess keep with challenges and stuff, guys. Don't be one of the people that feels like challenge is a bad thing, because if you're experiencing new problems or new challenges, it actually means you're growing as a person. So in some area of your life, if you're experiencing new challenges, it means that you're personally developing, like you're getting better. Hopefully they're new, better challenges. But I think one thing we have to do is actually, when we start to, like when we're talking about excuses, really have it highlighted in your own mind when you say the word but. I'm going to go to the gym. But no, stop. Just cut that thought off straight away. Have that as like a key highlighted red word in your brain that stops that line of thinking. Because what comes after but is never good. Like it's always some type of negative excuse or thought, isn't it? Like you're never like, oh, I'm not going to go to the gym, but I really should. Like that's just not how you think. Otherwise, you just go to the gym. All right. So it's got to be that mindset of, that word is kind of like a mine, and when you hear it, it goes and just eliminates that thought, and you just do what's in front of it, because generally that thing that's in front of it is the thing that's going to be moving you towards your goals. A second thing that I just want to note as well, before we open this up for questions, guys, as well, we want to kind of keep this pretty short and sharp. We understand everyone's busy, is having high standards as well, and high personal standards. I guess when it comes to you finishing tasks and getting better, because the higher your standards and the higher the standards of the people that you hang around, the more you're going to elevate yourself. You ever notice, guys, and a few of us have been on the planet a while, that when you hang around the wrong group of friends, you just like in reflection, it might have been fun at the time, but your life just kind of stagnates or doesn't really go anywhere. And then you change a few of those friends who might be a bit more positive, a bit more go-getters, maybe someone that loves the gym, and then all of a sudden you're loving the gym and you don't even know how that happened because you always hated the gym. You know what I mean? It's because you're hanging around different people. You're hanging around people with higher standards for themselves. So what I suggest you do, if you have a goal in some area, find someone that's doing it better than you and in a way that you want to do it, and try hang around them as much as you can. Maybe for the challenge, for example, find that person that you kind of like, geez, obviously he works out, and I wouldn't mind moving towards that. Maybe ask that person, like if it's obviously it's a friend or family member, say, hey, do you mind if we go to the gym so you can show me some stuff? Like, how do you actually train? How do you eat? Like actually seek them out, because they're doing it better than you right now. And then once you get to their standards, that's when you're like, okay, well, how do I up the ante? And I can really guarantee you guys, by the time you get to that standard, you'll be self-sufficient in finding that information for yourself, because essentially you'll learn where the source is, right? I think that's all I got, guys, to be honest. So hopefully everyone had a good call. I'm going to open this up to questions. And then, if we don't get any action on that, we're going to jump in the rest of our Monday nights.
Oh,
Katie's got one.
When you say like you stop yourself, so if you're about to have toast or whatever,
yeah.
Do you do things in your like personal development routine to establish like a mindfulness to be able to stop yourself?
I think just being really aware that, hopefully once you've written your excuses down and your goals again, you might identify that, some people just don't know they're making them. So they just get kind of led by their excuses or their external circumstances or their outer world. So they're really reactive. But no, I don't do anything like a technique. You just like if you're aware that you're making them, that's when you actually be empowered to stop them, I think. Because if you don't know, you don't know at the end of the day. And a lot of people who don't know, they're just kind of led by those thoughts. And, of course they can't achieve their goals because they're always trying to cut themselves short, And then that flows on into your self-esteem and you feel like a failure. Whereas if you go, oh, no, and then you have your shake, you actually feel like you're like a champion. You know what I mean? All right. So we got a couple here. Shani and Justin. We got, what personal development can you do to make yourself aware of your thoughts and excuses? Is that the same question?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, but I guess where you discover that. What I personally, I think any helps because not many people do it. But with your own personal development, just keep in mind that your personal development comes from you taking action on something that you've learned to be better. It's not like reading a book and stuff like that. Yeah, you can learn techniques and stuff, of course, but if you don't apply them, then you're not going to get any better personally. But I really think you can do a course actually that will help with this. It's called Mind Power or Learning Mind Power by John Kehoe. It's 140 Australian dollars and it's a very, very good investment in yourself. So that would be one I'd suggest, but probably a mix of a whole bunch of stuff. I love Gary Vee's approach as well because he's just like no excuse attitude. So if you learn, try to learn from that type of stuff as well and get that stuff in your ears, you might hear more, or you might identify more because he's always saying don't make them, and then you start to make them. You're like, oh, I'm making excuses. But at the end of the day, it's just an awareness thing. So one thing you could do, guys, as well is you could actually have a like something where you actually write them down. Like actually go, oh, okay, I'm going to write that down. Before you even finish the sentence, you'll be like, you know what, I'm just not going to do it. Doing that thing that leads me towards the action that's not going to lead you towards your goals. So hopefully that answers your question. So we got one from Simon via Nikki. How do you stay positive when you're surrounded by negative people every day, e.g. work? Yeah, it's a good one, isn't it? Because sometimes we can't control that. But what you can control is, once again, identifying their negative. So, which means, there's an old saying that just kind of imprinted in my brain. Don't take constructive criticism from people that haven't constructed anything. Meaning, if someone's not doing it better than you, that they don't have the runs on the board, so don't. There's, you can take their opinions on board, but that's about where it should stop. So, what I'd do in that situation, and I've been there as well, is I wake up every morning, and that first thing I'm hearing is something positive. So you've got what that will do is give you like a kind of like a shield. Like a positivity shield, and they might get through it by the end of the day, but at least you're at the end of the day and you can recharge again with some good listening. Anything by Jim Rohn for me is good. It depends on your flavor though. So just go through. There's so many people loving Gary Vee at the moment, Grant Cardone, Les Brown, Jim Rohn, of course, I listened to for nearly 3 years straight without anyone else. So that would be my best advice for that.
Can I add to that?
Yes, Katie wants to add to that.
Well, because you're always going to get negative people at work and they try to create a drama and that sort of stuff. So I just don't buy into it. They want a response from you.
Yeah.
So my response is either, oh yeah. Or I just say, that's not really a big deal.
Yeah.
Because they're thriving off your buy-in.
Yeah.
So I just find if I don't buy in and then they stop coming to me with their negative stuff.
Yeah. Probably say good one, Cole. So obviously they could hear that. I wasn't sure if they could hear it, but the negativity is kind of like a fire, and if you're responding to it, it's just adding fuel to that fire. And people are they like the attention. Why do you think people jump on Facebook and they say, Oh, my life's so shit. Blah, 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 sook, 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 sook. You know, I used to call before Herbalife, even during Herbalife, I used to call Facebook Sook Book because people just used to get on there and sook, like jump on there now and scroll through. And they just do it for the comments and the attention. It's kind of like you're fueling their negative behavior. Like, why don't you? Yeah, life happens, and it happens to everyone. Everyone's had a shit time at some point, but it's how you respond to that kind of makes you who you are. It builds character, if anything, right? So yeah. So don't fuel their fire. Give them nothing when they're giving you negativity, and eventually they'll stop offering it to you. It's what Katie was saying. If you couldn't hear Simon there. Bobby said, do you think having some type of accountability partner is helpful here too? In relation to the excuses, yeah, I guess so, because you can say, I didn't want to come. It's like, especially with workouts and food. And that's why, what we do is so successful, because people have someone they can talk to. So, with clients, they can send you food, for example, the photos of what they're eating. They have their way in, so they have an accountability buddy. At our Aubrey Lifestyle Center, for example, and all of our community workouts, they have other people that are watching. So I really think people train harder in groups or with someone else. I know I definitely do, because they're there with someone. So yeah, accountability partner would help with all of that, but especially getting rid of excuses. Because if you feel like you have to be somewhere for someone, like if you're meeting someone at the gym at 10 a.m., you're probably more likely to go even if you don't want to. See, like that's just the way it is, because you feel responsible, and when their roles are reversed, you're going to drag them there as well. And you never get there, do the workout and go, geez, I regret that, do you? Like at the end of the day. So it's more about, you've just got to do what it takes to get the outcomes that you want as well. But having someone to hold you to that, definitely. Nikki, shit book. I didn't call it shit book. I called it sook book. But the shit book would do. It's called just. I have to enumerate it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, guys, do you guys have any questions? No, all good. Any other questions out there on the Zoom?
Do you have to ask a question for the challenge people to answer?
Do I?
I don't know. Is that a challenge for you to be on this tonight?
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, here's the question to show that you've watched this Zoom call. Sorry, I didn't watch the whole video. So that's why I'm not going to make an excuse though. Just didn't. What can we do? So what I want you to do is send to your coach obviously what area this relates to, and one of the top excuses you make in that area and why you're not going to do it anymore. Cool. So if it's physical, the top excuse you make that you don't go and work out, or why you eat bad, or whatever those goals were, relate it back to number one or number two, or whatever's the most important to you, and then send that excuse that you make all the time and why you're not going to do it anymore. I think that'll be pretty powerful. Cool? Awesome. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you had a good call. Hopefully we got something out of that. Have a good night. And we'll see you guys soon.